Hello, hello, everybody. This is episode 9 of The Power of Practice, and today's guest is Anthony Diaz. Welcome, everyone, to The Power of Practice on Air. I am your host, Lisa Ingalls, and I am the founder of Interstate Coaching, and I help busy and ambitious women to step off of the stress treadmill and to regain control of their body, their health, their life, their wealth, their overall happiness. So in my 20 years of working as a coach, it has become very, very clear to me that creating radical change, whether that is about your health or your wealth or your happiness, really has more to do with how we do things. Not the things that we do, but how we do certain things. So in this 20-minute show, what I do is I interview guest experts from across the world from a wide range of fields, from health and personal development to business and relationship and everything in between, and I ask them all this one question, and that is, what one practice can you share with us that can create a radical breakthrough in health, in relationship, in wealth, in happiness? And through these practices, you, the viewer, will gain the tools that you need in order to turn your stumbling blocks into stepping stones. So tune in for these weekly episodes, and you can also visit me and learn more about what I do over at Interstate Coaching, www.interstatecoaching.com. While you're there, you can download my free report, which is a simple 5-step process to creating radical breakthroughs. Now, if you are joining us live today, please do let us know you're here. You can type into the comment box below this video, maybe type your name, where you're joining us from. If you have any questions for Anthony, please type them in the box below. If you happen to be watching the replay of this Hangout, you can still engage with us. That's the awesome thing about Google Hangouts. All you need to do is put a plus in front of our name, so plus Lisa Ingalls or plus Anthony Diaz. Will get the notification that you left a comment, and we'll be able to answer those questions and comments in retrospect as well. So it really isn't very easy when a significant relationship ends. I think we all know that, and we've probably all been through some type of breakup in our life. But whatever the reason might be for a split in relationship, whether it was something that you decided to do or not to do, the breakup of a relationship can really turn your whole world upside down and trigger a lot of painful feelings within us. But there is one practice that you can do to get through these difficult times and to move on. And in this week's episode of The Power of Practice, I'm interviewing Anthony Diaz, who is a divorce empowerment coach, and he's guided many, many people to heal from the pain of divorce and find true happiness and meaning and purpose in their lives. And today we're going to be talking about, like I already mentioned, the number one thing that you can do to move on from your divorce. So I want to welcome my guest for today, Anthony Diaz. Welcome to The Power of Practice, Anthony.
Thank you, Lisa. It's great to be here, and I'm really excited to share a lot of important tips and information for our listeners, especially in this month of February.
I know it's actually perfect timing because obviously it's relationship month, and I think the truth is, although many of us are probably in great relationships already, but there's just as many people who either want to be in a wonderful, loving relationship, or maybe who are going through some painful separations or breakups right now.
Absolutely, and when you're in a great relationship, it's great and things run smooth, and if you're not, it's really hard to know who to talk to, where to get the support from, and what can you do to get out of that space, and I'm glad that we're going to be talking about that today.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we've talked a bit before this show, and you actually have a full process. Today you're going to share with us one specific piece of that process, but I'm wondering if you can maybe give us the sort of the bigger overview of this process of moving on, and why is it so important, the process that you have?
Sure. Well, thank you. I've created this, and really, it's a process that people have used and gone through, and I've done myself through my own divorce, and it's a journey. Divorce is a journey, and it's really important to be able to go through all the steps of that journey in order to move on and to get to where you want to go. So, how I've helped people is, and I call it the ABCs of your divorce journey, and it's allowing, believing, and creating, and those are the three main steps that are important on that journey and moving on. And today I'd like to talk about the first step, which is actually the most important step, and that's allowing.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about this. I think that this piece of allowing, and I'm really excited to hear what you have to say about it, is so critical. Like, even just in the decision, in the very, very hard decision, I myself have also gone through divorce, so I understand the pain of it as well, especially if there are children involved, which was my case. And when just making the decision in and of itself to allow the split or to have the breakup must be part of this allowing.
Well, allowing, I mean, is a key process in any major thing that happens in our life, whether it's the decision making of wanting to go for the divorce, the marriage isn't working out. It's allowing that process to happen because you're not happy and the situation's not working out. Even if someone else decides they would like a divorce and you don't, to be able to allow that process to happen, because we don't want to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't want to share that with us. So either way, it's a very difficult process, but many people have difficulty moving on either while the divorce is happening or after the divorce. And I've seen that through myself and in helping other people is allowing is really important. And the most important way that you can allow is with your feelings and emotions.
Yeah. So I totally get that, because obviously when you're going through something like this, there's so much that we can put on ourselves, like the shame, the blame, the guilt, like the Holy Trinity, what I like to call the Holy Trinity, especially when it comes to our ideals and our stories about relationship, and how we come in and we think, oh my gosh, I'm going to be with the love of my life forever and ride off into this beautiful sunset, and then, oh no, it doesn't happen like that. And those feelings, maybe you can speak more to a little bit about that, the art of allowing the feelings.
Sure. Well, I mean, divorce is a major event in anyone's life, and there are 6 or 8 major events that cause us to have stress and to cause the gamut of emotions, and divorce is one of them. It may be anger, it may be sadness, it may be shame. There are these emotions that come over us, and they're not fun. Nobody wants to be in pain. Nobody wants to be angry, and the easy thing to do is to put them aside and to not want to deal with them. But what happens is emotions, whether you put them aside or not, they need to be expressed. And they don't care whether you want them to be expressed or not. They're going to be expressed. And if you don't allow them to be expressed, they will linger and stay with you. So if you wondered why you're still angry or still sad years after a divorce, probably it's because you haven't allowed those feelings to be fully expressed. I like to look at feelings, and not in a bad way, actually a good way, of having a shelf life. They will they need a certain amount of time to express themselves, and it's different with everyone. It's not like I can say, okay, it's going to take a year or it's going to take a month. It's different for everyone, but the most important thing is no matter how long they take, to just allow them, knowing that at some point they will complete itself, and you can wish them, goodbye, and you can be able to move on. So it's really important in all the feelings that you're feeling during the divorce to validate them, just like we want people to validate us when we have certain feelings. Well, the feelings themselves need to be validated, and when you just allow them to be expressed, that will be, the step of being able to get closer to moving on, because those feelings now are not going to be able to get in the way of the next step.
Yeah, so, okay, now this might be sort of putting you on the spot a little bit, but because here you're talking about this, it's so important to allow and express your feelings, but how do you recommend that we do that? How do you allow yourself to express if for so long you've been trying to avoid those feelings or push them down, or you think that you really, now this goes into, so number one is, sorry to give you these two questions, but number one would be, how do you do the allowing, right? And then number two, how do you know that you haven't been doing the allowing, or that you have?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So the how is just to acknowledge that you have these feelings. And we all know when we're angry, something's right, we get irritated, and to be able to take a step back and say, something's not right here, and to look at, I'm feeling kind of irritated, I'm feeling kind of angry. Just that acknowledgement is going to